Hello, everybody. Last night was the premiere of Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, and we are here to break down the hottest moments from the first episode. So, welcome back to our channel. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new here. I'm your host, Zachary Reality, with Blakely McHugh and Kayla Thompson. Guys, we are back for another season of Paradise. What did you think of the premiere? Are you excited about the season? Let me know how you're feeling.
Honestly, I really liked the premiere. I was here for it. It kind of gave me everything that I wanted in the beginning and it made me really excited. I know Kayla though that you have a little bit of different feeling than I do.
Calling me out, Blakely. No. Okay.
Already,
Well,
it
one,
starts.
I love Paradise. I know, right? I love Paradise. First of all, I'm Blakely, I miss you. I feel like we haven't done a video together in forever. But
I know, it's been too
yeah, I
long.
thought the beginning I thought the beginning of the episode was so strong. The end, I have some thoughts, but again, I love Paradise. This cast is stellar in my opinion. And
Mhm.
I'm excited to see how the rest of the season plays out. But definitely, I mean, I can't wait to dive in and get to it. But yeah, Paradise is here, and I'm excited about it. I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited as well. I do wish that we had like 1 week before, this came on, just because Bachelorette was so exhausting, I think, for all of us
Yeah.
viewers and everyone who talks about the show. So it's kind
Totally.
of just like a lot to jump back in the season. And I kind of noticed the fan base was a little bit down last night. It seems like there was a lot of people who maybe are waiting an extra couple weeks to watch, but there was a few good hidden
Mhm.
moments, which we'll definitely get into, like the Kira and Jill fight, Loose,
Mhm.
Genevieve and Justin, Michael
Loose.
A. Like there was
Not
some good
loose.
moments. My only issue with it
Yeah.
is I kind of just felt like it was so repetitive. It's just like, all right, we know the format, we know how
Yeah.
produced this is, we know the angles. Like it just felt so predictable. And I don't know if that's just because of all the buzz that happens in the preseason that I'm heavily involved in, but it just felt like
Hmm.
nothing shocked me, if that makes sense.
No,
And I
that
want to
makes a
hear what
lot
you
of
guys kind
sense.
of have to think about it as well, because we're back on the beach. Jesse Palmer is the host for the first time, and we have our first arrivals arriving on the beach. We have Serene, Michael A, Andrew S, Genevieve, Johnny, Teddi, Casey, Haley, and Brittany. So out of those first 7 names, I want to hear, like, who were you guys most excited to see? Who was your favorite?
I mean,
Mm.
Michael A. right off the bat, I've been saying that this whole time. I was ready for him to hit the beach. I love that everybody is calling him Daddy and Papa. We finally got a little
Zaddy.
personality out of Jesse. Yeah, Zaddy. We finally got some personality out of Jesse. We're seeing him like loosen up a little. So I was really like glad to see kind of that side of him. Can we talk about, since we are talking about the opening people, Johnny's rap slash music video for a second? Because I was
Mhm.
dying. I hated it, but I sort of loved it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I that's exactly how I felt about Johnny's rap. I was like, "Oh no. Okay, wait. LOL? Okay, I don't know."
Yeah,
I
it was
like
kind of a
forgot that was
bop.
his thing. Yeah. Yeah,
It was a
and I
vibe.
agree. Jesse, yeah. Jesse was definitely coming out his shell. I think he knows this is Paradise. He's got to kind of loosen up and let it just be like
Mm-hmm.
bring the jokes. Sometimes the jokes most of the time was missing. But, I appreciate him trying. I don't know if you guys
Yes,
caught this, but I felt like Jesse didn't know how to walk on the sand. Like he was walking so weird. I was like,
I
he just needs to just
didn't.
he was like stomping like he was walking through snow or something. I don't know. It was a weird thing that I caught. I'm like,
I'm
he's
gonna have to
being
go back
awkward.
and
But
rewatch.
yeah. Yeah. It's
He's
funny.
just trying to be
But
one with the crabs.
yeah, I don't know. Honestly though, for me with the cast coming in, I was so excited to see Serene. Like I love her so much. She was like my favorite from Clayton season besides Gabby. Um and so yeah, for her to be the first one on the beach, I was like, ugh, love that for her. And yeah, I also love Michael A. Andrew as well. So yeah, definitely a
Mm-hmm.
good first group of people.
Well, we know you love Andrew. We know he's your favorite. I was really excited to see Genevieve. I just think that she seems like one of like the center girls, where it's just like everyone's friends with her.
Mm.
She kind of seems like not like the ringleader, but she just kind of seems like that girl that's just like, has like connections with everybody on the beach and probably knows some of the guys. So I think that she's just going to be a really dynamic character throughout the season. Like she's not just like your pretty perfect Serene, and she's not like your crazy chaotic Shanae. Like she just really is in the middle, which I think is like
Yeah.
a good place to kind of ground everyone. So I'm excited to see like how her storyline unfolds. Next up, our next batch of contestants includes Sierra. She actually brought in shots for Jesse Palmer. Then we had Justin, who did the facial expressions. Jacob came in wearing a leaf. And then, of course, Shanae said that this was a brand new season. This is a new her, and she's ready for a new opportunity, a new chance. So out of those kind of contestants, who was your favorite entrance? And then what would your entrance be, or what would you guys wear or say if you were entering the beach?
Favorite entrance? I mean, probably. I don't know. I mean, Tarzan, like, that's nothing new. That's not original. It's not unique. We saw Kenny do it. I did like the shots. Maybe that's what I would be doing. I felt like Justin's facial expressions wasn't necessarily his entrance. Like Jesse kind of led
Yeah.
that
Did it.
intro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I'd be doing the shots. I don't know. I've always thought about that. Like if I'm on The Bachelor, what's gonna be my entrance? Like I don't think I need an entrance. Like I'm just me, and that's enough.
Well, what are you gonna wear?
A bathing
Yeah.
suit. Maybe some like shorts
Okay.
over it.
Okay.
A bathing suit, obviously. No, yeah, Sierra was, oh my gosh, she was so like stunning when she walked in. Her whole outfit, her hair, it was different, but it was like very eye-catching. I think her just alone would have been enough, but her bringing shots, like her bringing something, is not a usual thing on Paradise. That's actually the first time I think I saw somebody like bring something like that.
Shots.
So yeah, like shots are just like any kind of not gimmick, but you know what I mean, like a thing. Usually that's just for the Bachelor, Bachelorette. But yeah, I think
Do we
Sierra was just she brought the energy. She was gorgeous outfit. So yeah, what were you gonna
do
say?
we think it was real alcohol in those shot glasses? Like was Jesse really throwing back a
yeah,
shot,
I
or
don't
was it
know.
water?
Maybe like a little bit of a mixed shot. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
They would like say it was if it wasn't. But the thing about Sierra, the reason she glows is because she wears like body glitter, which is like makes her sparkle. So I think that's what you're like talking about. Other than the fact that she's just like drop dead gorgeous, I'm pretty sure she also models
Yeah.
It's
in
that.
real life.
Yeah.
But I think with Justin, I feel like Jesse, it was just like let him. The facial expressions will speak for themselves. Like you don't need to cue them. They
Yeah.
just need to kind of
That was
happen
weird.
organically,
Agreed.
and that's what we liked about him on Katie's season. So far, Jesse is not on my personality list
Yeah.
as he is on yours.
Okay.
But everyone pretty much got there. People were, starting to come in. We have a really large cast, which I like a lot of people, but then sometimes it's just like so hard to follow everybody. But it's probably better for the cast because then there's more options. And Jacob and Shanae immediately started connecting, and they shared the first kiss of the season. Followed by Brandon, who entered the beach. So excited to see Serene. He immediately pulled Serene aside, and they even kissed. So they were the second kiss of the season. And it seems like they only came for Paradise for each other. So I got to know, which of
Yeah.
these two couples, right out of the gate, are you shipping? Like, who do you think is in it for the long haul? Kayla, why don't you start?
I mean, do we even have to debate this? Brandon and Serene. Like, period.
What did you think?
I think even like them, I mean, even them setting them up at the beginning of the episode with Serene's intro package was I'm interested in Brandon. Brandon was the second intro package. Then they like waited to bring Brandon on, and she's like, is he gonna come? I'm worried. Like they were already kind of like setting us up to, for the weight of it and kind of just okay, finally they're together. And Brandon pulls her right aside, bringing all the energy, intentionality. I was swooning. They have instant chemistry. I know a lot of people online were like, they've met before, which I don't know. But either way, I love it. I think they're in it for the long haul. to me, Shanae and Jacob were like, they just kissed because it was like, oh, our faces are close together. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool. But yeah, Brennan and Serene, they're gonna go all the way.
I don't think that there's any way that Brandon and Serene have met before this because, like, I may be an odd one out here, but I kind of felt like their conversation was really awkward, and I feel like you can't fake how awkward it
Yeah.
felt to me. It was, like I think that it was giving me like little schoolgirl vibes. They were really giddy about each other.
Right.
Then you kind of get speechless. You don't know what to say because you're so excited. But it was like I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't fake that. If they had met before, I don't think it would have been. It felt a little bit uncomfortable to me. And I agree right
Right.
on point with you, Kayla, about Jacob and Shanae. It kind of just felt like they kissed because they were right there. I see like really good friendship vibes between the two with like maybe a little underlying flirtation, but nothing serious.
Yeah, I
Totally.
don't think
Yeah.
that Jacob and Shanae are going to like form a deep connection. I feel like we've seen them both in the trailer kissing other people. But the thing is with
Yeah.
Brandon and Serene is I don't think they've met either, but I think that because there's so many Bachelor podcasts, they've both expressed
Mm,
interest of each other like months before the show on the podcast when they asked the question
Yeah.
like who
mm,
do you want to see in paradise? Like they both always have said each other, and then the fans have been shipping them for a few months. So maybe Brandon and
yeah.
Serene like sent a couple DMs back and forth, but I think the producers like
Hmm.
highly encourage them not to talk before paradise because I listened to Brandon on Talking
Yeah.
It Out and he knew he was going to
Yeah.
paradise like 3 or 4 months before he actually went. Like they gave him the first call in February. So with Serene, being on Bachelor, he can't really like communicate with her. Otherwise, that's gonna mess up the vibes in paradise, and the producers are gonna get mad if you make those pre relationships because we've seen that in previous seasons. If you talk before, it's all
Yes,
gonna
we
come out and it's
have.
not gonna look good. So it's
Totally.
better to just like let it happen. And that was apparent when Serene was like, "What do you do for work?" But I
Yeah.
feel
She
like
didn't
this is
know
just
anything
so
about him. It's true.
she didn't know. But Kayla, do you think it's just too obvious? Like, what is it? We kind of talked about this like when we first started. Like, this show is becoming so predictable. Can we still
Right.
like root for Brandon and Serene, knowing that like we all can read between the lines here? Like, we know how they set things up.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And I think you made a great point at the beginning of this stream about the whole episode was a little predictable. I completely agree with that. But I think that on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, we have, front runners where we're like, oh, Nate and Michelle, period. Like we just know you
Yeah,
catch
yeah.
on and and it's like it's just kind of a part of it. But the fun of it is seeing how it unfolds and watching the love story of it all and seeing if there are going to be bumps in the road or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think with Brandon and Serene, for me, I mean, I could not get enough of their moments together because I was one of those fans that was shipping them from jump before I even heard they were interested in each other. So the fact that this is happening on my screen, I was like, give me more. I want more. So I don't think I'm gonna be bored by their storyline at all. I think it's giving very much Joe and Serena, where it's like they're just
Mm-hmm.
kind of that it couple on the beach that everyone's like they're gonna get engaged. But I don't think it's
It
gonna
seemed
take
like
away from anything.
Yeah, it seemed like everyone already knew. They're like, yep, Brandon's here for Serene. Serene's here for Brandon. She was just waiting for him. So, yeah, you're right. Like, we got to just see the journey. Maybe there'll be some highs and lows, just like a movie. Maybe there'll be like a climax. I hope to see them kind of get in a big fight and then like recover from it because that's like the fun of watching like a love story. But I don't think any of us are doubting that they're going to get engaged at the end. I feel like I've seen this
Yeah.
movie before or this season. But there was also an immediate connection between Andrew S. and Teddi. So they also were getting shipped a lot by the fans and expressed interest in each other on the podcast
Hmm.
before the show. So when Andrew S. got the first date card, he decided to take Teddi on the date. And it seemed to be pretty awkward at first as Teddi called out Andrew for not playing it super cool. But they ended up vibing and making out in a bath margarita. Blakely, do you have as much hope for this couple as you do Brandon and Serene?
I don't know that I have as much hope. Um, but that's not to knock what they have. I gotta be honest though, I was living for Teddi in this moment. Not only was she carrying the entire date and the conversation between the two of them, she was like giving it back to Andrew, making fun of him. I don't know why there was something off about Teddi that I wasn't loving during Clayton's season, and I loved her during this date. And I did think it was really cute. When have we ever seen Andrew speechless? Like the fact that he literally didn't even know what to say, he was just speechless. I don't know, I thought it was a really sweet moment. I think the only reason why I feel like I don't have as much hope is because of the trailers that we've seen. We know that they have a little bit of some rockiness. I believe that we see Teddi in tears at one point. So it's like there is a seed of doubt planted in my head. I don't know that I necessarily see them, if they do make it, getting engaged, but maybe pursuing a relationship afterwards.
Yeah.
What about you, Kayla?
I mean, I was very interested in watching this date because I could tell from the beach that Andrew was like really nervous around Teddi. And I think we've seen of Andrew, he's pretty confident. And so I thought that was interesting. And yeah, I agree. I think it's to credit Teddi and her confidence and like the presence that she was bringing on Paradise. And I even love that. I actually really loved that they brought specific things why they like each other, why they were interested in each other. Teddi was like, "You remind me of joy, and I can see you bring light to everyone's life that you're in." And I love that they like thought about that. I think that says a lot about them as people, and him being like, "You exude confidence," and I'm so attracted to that. I thought it was really awkward in the beginning. I felt like Andrew probably should have maybe thought of some games, had something to say before, because I was like, Andrew, I need you to like, what's going on?
Together.
She's kind of carrying this. I'm gonna need you to get it together.
He saved it with the margarita bath at the end, because that was like a really fun moment.
That wasn't his idea. It's the date.
Yeah. You're
But,
right.
But no,
but
I
he
think
had
where
it.
he saved
He had the
it,
producers
I
in his
think where he
back
saved
pocket.
it was right. No, yeah, I think where he saved it was like him being like, "Okay, let me just tell you how I feel about you," and then I'm gonna go in for the kiss. I thought that was great. But I agree with Blakely. I do feel like that the previews kind of ruin it, because we clearly see, yes, Teddi in tears, but we also see Andrew kissing Jasenia, and Andrew kissing
Brittany.
her name is escaping me, but yes, I don't know if it's Brittany or someone else I'm thinking, but yeah, so I think that's where I'm like, I don't think they're Brandon and Serene level, clearly. So
Yeah.
it might be cute for a little bit, but I don't know if it's gonna like really, really go anywhere. I think it's like on paper, this is so cool, and we kind of make sense and we're interested, but I don't see like, even with Teddi, I don't see like the, oh my God, like I'm so into him, you know? It's just kind of like, this is cute. So
Teddi is just very confident, and she's very like, she's just so calm, and she knows what she wants. I feel like she's really like mature and beautiful, and she just has like a good soul. So I just don't think that she's gonna like settle or play along for very long if she's not interested in Andrew, but it definitely seems like she wants to give him a chance. And I think Andrew could get like any girl on the beach that he wants. He kind of was like that guy from Katie's season that everyone was excited to see. So I wouldn't be surprised if he hopped around. And I also, like, as we're saying this, like, with the trailer and everything, like, I just really wonder what the Bachelor's marketing strategy is, because I really feel like if you watch the trailer, which obviously we do here at Shared News and we pause every 5 seconds, but if you just watch the trailer and pay attention, like, the show writes itself, and I'm not even talking about this season, we can even talk about Gabby and Rachel's season. Like, the whole trailer gave away the entire ending. You didn't have to look up any spoilers. You didn't have to ask anyone. Like, you could just watch the trailer and easily put 2 and 2 together. And I don't know what their strategy is with this show, if they want it to be predictable, if that's what's keeping fans engaged, knowing that we're going to find out everything before it happens. But I personally think it ruins the show, knowing that these trailers are giving away literally everything from start to finish. Blakely, do you feel the same way as I do?
I mean, yes, in a sense, but I have to know, I really am not as like eagle-eyed as like you are, Zach. Like, I remember when we were on this panel and we were talking about the trailer for the finale for the Bachelorettes, right? And then there was that film, that scene where we see Rachel say like, "You told me these things and you went back." You know, you right away put together that Yeah, you right away put together that was like in a different location, not in Mexico, whatever. Whereas for me, I'm just a very like, I don't question a lot of things. So my thought was like, I don't know, but it didn't quite give it away to me as it did it for you, because I don't think that I'm as like eagle-eyed. I'm just very kind of trusting and not questioning what they're showing. Whereas like you should, because we obviously know that all of this is produced and manipulated for us to think something. So I think it's a little bit
All of
of
it.
both. Like they definitely do give a lot away in the trailer, but I think that if you're looking close enough too, you're going to see all of that. But if you're just a tad bit removed, it might not be as spoiled for you, if that makes sense.
I think there's just like two types of fans. There's like the fans that watch the show that just like don't pick up on everything and are like, oh my God. And then there's the fans like me and a lot of the online community, because I feel like there's a lot of people who don't even like go online. They just watch the show that are like, we know what's going to happen. We know the spoilers 3 months in advance. And we just know everything that's going to happen. So nothing's a surprise. So honestly, guys, maybe I'm just a little jaded, and because I've been watching this show for so long. So I mean, as of now, I've told you guys, like, I'm not doing anything for Zach's season until it starts. I'm not reading anything. I'm not looking at spoilers. I'm not talking to anyone, asking anyone questions. I'm just gonna let it happen and see what happens when we get there. Because I need like a refresh.
You're gonna be surprised, Zach.
I mean, I'm sure I'll hear things, but I'm gonna be a lot more surprised than I am for this season, where I would be lying if I said I just didn't already know too much for my own good. And honestly, like, it's taking away a little bit of like the fun. So I just want to be honest with that for our viewers. Like, this is where I'm at with this show right now. I just like, I'm not getting the same enjoyment because I just know too much. So maybe that's a
let me say this though, Zach.
Time to bring the fun back.
Yeah, and I think, what I was gonna say, and this might help, because I don't know all of what you know, but let's take Teddi and Andrew. I think that although we're clearly saying they're not going to stay together, I think the fun of it is seeing, well, what does happen? Like, how do they break up? Like, we see him kissing these other people. Like, what's the in between? And I think maybe finding the fun in that will be good.
Yeah, and I think that Paradise will just be a little bit more laid back, because Bachelorette was just so intense to cover. So this show is going to be more fun. And speaking of fun, we have got to talk about Loose. This was my favorite part of the entire episode.
Oh my gosh, me too.
So funny.
Y'all,
so Lace walks in. Everyone is confused. Like, why is she here? Johnny even was like, is she like with us? Like, they thought she was going to be like a bartender or like a... Yeah,
Oh
do you
my
hear him
gosh.
say that? Like,
Yes,
they probably
it's
thought she was gonna
hilarious.
be, like a cocktail waitress or something. So everyone was
Yeah.
just
A
so
producer,
confused. Literally.
Somebody
honestly.
called her...
So...
Somebody called her an alum,
Called
and
her
I was
what?
dying when they called an alum.
Haley.
Yeah.
I
It was
like-
Haley from Clayton's season.
Yeah.
Guys, she is 6 years old from this franchise. She was on Ben Higgins' season. That is 6 years ago. There is no one from 6 years ago besides, I guess, Wells. And then Jesse Palmer was from like 15 years ago. But she wasn't getting enough attention on the beach, so she decided to make up a lie that it was her birthday, which is honestly genius if you ever go to a restaurant and you want a free cake. And it worked because she got a free dessert, and then Logan ended up singing happy birthday to her. However, after Luce expressed that she was only interested in Logan, she then finds out he's 26, so she's 32, so she's not interested. And then Logan calls her Luce, and he really thought her name was Luce because Logan never really watched the show before. So I want to hear from both of you. What are your thoughts on Luce?
I was howling. It was like so funny. I know. It was incredible. Not only I think what made it even better was just Logan's silence afterwards. He's just staring at Lace, like, because he has no idea what to say. Loose, Lace, whatever. And like, also, did he think it was Loose, or did he try to give her a nickname like it's Lucy and then like calling her Loose, like trying to be cool, and then he just totally gets it wrong.
He thought it was Loose. He thought it was Loose. You could see on his face. He also had the fear of God when Lace said that she was only into him, because you know the producers are going to want to keep her a little bit because she's the only OG. So he was like, damn it, I'm going to have to give Luce my rose if she claims me.
And in the confessional too, he was like, people forget names. Like, I'm happy to remember all these people's names. Like, he's like trying to defend himself, like, give me a break. And she is just going in on him. It was so funny.
It was a riot. And the funniest
Is she
part
gonna
to
have success
me,
on the beach? What was the funniest
y'all.
part?
Oh, the
No.
funniest part, yeah, no. But the funniest part for me was while he's singing happy birthday, he realized he didn't really remember her name. So he's like, happy birthday, 32 years old. I'm like, no. I'm like, that's not, you're not gonna put her age in place of what her name is. I was dying laughing, and he was so scared. He didn't know how to. I'm like, laugh it off. Just do something to like make light of it. But he's just like, I'm so sorry. Like, hilarious. But no, I
So
think
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Lace
yeah.
Lace kind of was like, I didn't want to laugh at her, but I had to because the show was making me, and the Logan thing. But it's just like clearly the minute she stepped on the beach, y'all, she was feeling a little insecure.
Mm-hmm.
And not
Yeah.
being pursued. She's like the oldest alum there. Um, no one remembered her. And I think like she kind of just she came in like I don't know. She came in kind of what's the
She came in
word?
hot.
I don't know. Lacking, I was gonna say.
I
Like she
mean,
came in behind the eight ball, if that makes sense. Like she wasn't
hmm.
coming in with any asset, other than I've been here longer than y'all,
I
which is like it just
I think
sucks for
she thought
her.
her asset was that, she said, I'm looking my best. I'm the best I've ever looked. I'm in the best shape. I'm this, that, that. I think like she
Hmm.
thought she was coming in. And like, even though people didn't
Yeah.
know who she was, people were going to be like, look, she was going to be turning heads. So when she didn't get
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite the, attention that she wanted, she had a little temper tantrum. I honestly thought she was really funny though. And I loved
Mm.
Shanae like climbing in the bed and she's like, I'll talk to you. And Lace is
Yeah.
like, no, you turned your back to me. And Shanae's like, come on, let's go get a guy. I already tried. Like Shanae was trying so hard to get Lace out of the bed. And Lace was like, no, you also ignored me. You also turned your back to me. I was just like Lace, I
Like,
kind of like love because she was so funny.
no,
She's
she was a riot.
hilarious, and she's honestly hasn't changed. Guys, she was this funny on Ben Higgins' season. Like, she was that drunk girl hysterically crying, like, every episode. And then when she went to Paradise, season 3, she got engaged. She
Mm.
actually got engaged to a guy named
Mm-hmm.
Grant.
Oh.
Yeah, who
Yeah, I
actually
remember
just
that.
got engaged again, like, a few months ago. So he's moved on. I mean, they even got matching
Oh.
tattoos that said Grace. And they
Mm-hmm.
didn't last
Yep.
much after the show. But I think Lace's biggest
Zach.
problem is that maybe she's not open to other guys. What?
I was gonna, well, you can continue, but I was just gonna ask if we were talking about Lace later in Casey, or if we're doing our Lace talk
Yeah, yeah.
now.
No, I'm just saying that she wasn't open to guys because, Logan's 26, she's 32. So Casey is the
Yeah,
only guy that is older than her.
that's
I
like
think he's
age appropriate.
37. So do you
Yeah.
ship them? I mean, or do you think Lace is just going to have to pull a peace sign and leave?
I gotta be honest. I was uncomfortable with Lace and Casey. I
Mm-hmm.
the kiss was so forced. Like the nipple touching, I thought Casey was hilarious when he was like, "Yeah, she was rubbing my nipples," but I wanted to talk about the kiss. If anybody else felt like it was uncomfortable,
Yes,
I
of
think most of these
course.
kisses are uncomfortable, if
No,
not
but
all of
that one
them.
was like I mean, Casey was just like he kissed his mom or something, or his grandma. Like he did not want to do it. I was like, Lace, it's just I
I
would just go home.
this
I literally just be like,
I
I'm just
really
gonna leave.
wonder, like, I wonder if our friends like filmed us making out, like how it would look, because I just feel like kissing never
Gross.
looks as flattering for anyone. Well,
Mm-mm.
maybe some people have like hot
yeah,
kisses, but it always is kind of awkward. I think of like Mario and Gabby from last season. That was like
Oh
awkward
my
after the
gosh.
first impression rose. But
oh
another
god,
couple kissing
that
is
was
actually
bad.
Genevieve and Justin. Now, Genevieve came in. She was really unsure if Justin was into her, but she made it clear that she likes him. So she kind of was just asking for extra reassurance, and he gave it to her. He kissed her. They made out in the hot tub, and then he gave her his shoes. So, Kayla, I want to know what
Loved
you think
that.
of Genevieve and Justin. the shoes.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a big
this was
statement.
big,
Nice gesture.
huge. I was surprised that Genevieve was interested in Justin. That was actually one of the couples that I was like, oh, I didn't expect that at all. Thought maybe they kind of would like up, if anything, finding each other and be like, oh, okay, this is cool. But they seemed genuinely like actually interested in each other, and I thought it was sweet. Um, yeah, I even like how Justin was like, no, I am interested in you. Why are you and what's the name? Genevieve is like, I didn't think you were. I thought you were just like, oh, take me or leave me. And he's like, no, I am. Here, take my shoes. Here, I'm gonna help you walk back upstairs. Like he was kind of like he reassured her, but in like a really chill way. I thought they were cool. I thought they were cute. Well, we know Aaron's coming down though, so we'll have to see.
We do know that. And we also saw Hunter make out with Johnny in the pool. We didn't really get a storyline with them, but I mean, hey, everyone's got to kiss someone. But a lot of fans were actually giving Johnny flack on Twitter for being in Mexico so quickly after Gabby's season, where he said he wasn't ready to get engaged. So, Blakely, I got to know, do we think Johnny even went home, or do you think he just stayed in Mexico? Because there really is only like a 3 to 4 week turnover between the seasons.
I think he had to have gone home for like
For
a
sure.
second.
A
I
couple
mean, I
weeks.
feel like there's no way. Yeah, like he went home for a little bit. I do think the narrative is funny though that he just Ubered on over to the Paradise
Yeah,
Beach.
he took a lift.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I think that I don't think John. As much as I liked Johnny, I think Johnny and Gabby were always very playful. They didn't feel like they had much seriousness and like depth to their relationship, so I don't think that it's crazy that he went to Bachelor in Paradise, right after the show, even though there wasn't a lot of like weeks between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just showed that he wasn't in love with Gabby, and that was kind of obvious with
Yeah.
their breakup. I mean, Gabby had Jason
Yeah.
and Johnny, who just like, what were they doing there for 3 weeks before the show ended?
Literally.
But I
Yeah.
really do want to talk about the biggest drama of the night, our first love triangle, our first fight, Kira versus Jill, and the Romeo of it all. This was a little interesting to watch because I think there is a little bit more backstory before the show started, as Jill mentioned many times that Kira always goes after guys that she's into. So Romeo actually did admit to getting to know some of Clayton's girls before the beach. So he definitely had something going on with Kira and Jill where he was talking to them or had some type of, relationship or friendship with them, because they both came in there with the impression that they were going to get Romeo's rose. And Kira, she interrupted Jill a couple times. I don't know if the producers are telling her, go interrupt right now. But it seems like Jill got really upset when Kira stole her drink. And there was a clip on TikTok, if you guys want to look up my girl Valentina XOX, where it kind of seemed like Jill like had a drink. So I'm a little unsure if like Kira actually like stole her drink or if she was aware that she was taking her drink. But what did you guys kind of think of the first part of this, Blakely? What did you think of the first part of this love triangle?
So to comment on Drinkgate, I also saw 3 drinks there, but I believe that
Yeah.
Jill's, like, maybe she had just gotten herself a second drink because the other drink that was next to Jill looked almost empty. So I'm thinking she had just got a refill or something, and that's why that situation occurred. I've got to say, I am not here for Kira. I did not love at all her opening monologue or her entrance about, she wants to be in the boom boom room as much as possible, kind of her boob reference, whatever her joke was about being a doctor and she's got the pills to cure or something like that. She is just feeling real messy to me. And I know that this photo of her right here is just not a great screenshot. I know we've got to
She was
have one of them on.
She is drunk.
Yeah. I know we've got to have one of them on every season. It's kind of giving me Demi from Bachelor in Paradise last year when she just wanted to come in and she was the boom boom and she was jumping from guy to guy. But I'm not feeling Kira at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I think she's, she's bringing in the drama. She's bringing in some extra. She's bringing in some spice. She's putting on a
So
show
you're
for us.
probably loving her, Zach.
I'm loving her. And honestly, like, I'm trying to go to the boom boom room too. Like, at least she knows what she wants. I'm not really a fan of stealing drinks. I mean, it kind of seemed like it was on accident, or interrupting I don't think is the
Yes.
vibe either, even if the producers are
Yes.
telling her like go interrupt right now, you have to, because that's literally like how the producers can be. But Romeo
Yeah.
actually ended up telling Kira that he wanted to pursue Jill. So even if he had a connection with both of them before the show, he friend zoned Kira, and then Kira confronted
Hmm.
Jill on the beach. And Kira felt like Jill was slut shaming her, but Jill was so frustrated that Kira kept interrupting. So Kira ended up moving on from Romeo and kissing Casey and rubbing his nipple later that night. So it seems to be a theme and a fetish with Casey where he likes the rubbing of the nipple. So Kayla, where are you at with
Yeah.
this love triangle and feud?
So this was the TikTok that Blakely was referencing. I made a TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I made a TikTok last night about how I did feel like this drama between Kira, Romeo, and Jill was. I just was like dizzy. I didn't really care. I was like, can I see more of the people
It's
that I
starter
know?
drama.
Because
It's the starter
yeah, it's like
drama.
well, here's the thing. It's like that's fine, but the problem is that it's a lot of this is clearly stuff that's happened preseason, which I'm confused on. I don't really like okay, I get it. Y'all both liked him, whatever, whatever, but like I feel like everybody in this situation is being whack. Like Romeo's being whack cuz he at first wasn't really being intentional on who he really wanted at first. He was kind of like being scary about it. Jill is upset at Kira for interrupting, but that's the point of Paradise. You're all supposed to date each other. And Kira's mad at Jill that Romeo doesn't like her. I'm like, everybody's being annoying. Like,
They
everybody just
need. Do you
needs to
think they need to
calm
blame?
down.
But do you think they're fighting like for no reason? Do you think that they should take that energy out on Romeo? Since I mean, I don't really think he was two
Yes.
timing them though. Like maybe he was
No, I
before the
think,
I
show talking to both of them,
no, I,
but on this season he
well,
made it clear that he's here for Jill after a day.
yeah. And I think that Jill at first was kind of being a little, I think she was a little shook by Kira. And I think Kira
Mm,
feels I don't really know where the slut shaming thing is coming from. Maybe that's something that happened preseason again because that confused me. But I think both of them were
mm.
being a little like they were getting shook by each other, and it's just like you're on Paradise, just move on. Like how she did, she moved on with for
She
Casey, and it
moved
was
on.
fine. But it's
Well,
like
I
they
think
try
her
to kind of make little digs
expectation.
at each other. Well, let me just
They
say this. I
were.
feel
I
like they
think.
kind of just
Yeah,
were
yeah.
making little digs at each other. Like Jill was kind of making digs at Kira. Like she keeps interrupting me. And I'm like, girl,
Mm.
she's trying to talk to Romeo because she likes him too. And then Kira's like, well, you're yeah, you're like slut shaming me or whatever. And it's just like, well, I don't even know where she's getting that from. I think she's just like, oh, where she was no, that she was talking about, oh, she's just rose chasing. That's what it was. She was like, oh, she's like rose chasing.
Mm.
She's just trying to get his rose. But then when Romeo, um, said, I want to pursue Jill, Kira's like, oh, I'm not gonna get his rose now. So I'm like, girl, so
I think
everybody wants a
I
rose. It's like everybody just needs to just
yeah.
take a step back, kill it, and not have any more drinks.
Yeah.
Just relax. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fine.
First
Kira
Move
off,
had a little
on.
too
yeah.
much to drink that night.
Yeah.
My tea and roses is saying it all. They are all messy. They were all messy.
Yes.
The only person who I actually think has something to be upset about, and like just rightfully so, would be Kira, because if Romeo pursued her and now he's saying, I don't want you any longer, I want Jill instead, like my feelings
Mm.
are going to be a little bit hurt too. I see Jill being annoyed about the
I
drink
feel that.
thing if she really thinks her drink was stolen and being interrupted. But for Jill to then go cry on
Oh
the
my
beach
gosh,
chair,
the
whatever it
drama.
was, I was like, oh my gosh, ridiculous. Jill's getting the
Yeah.
man. Why is she upset?
Jill is
Yeah, I think
very
she's a little
emotional.
sensitive.
She's very sensitive, and she's probably like a Pisces. I'm a Cancer. But I think that you guys kind of summed it up perfectly. Like I believe Kira, like it seemed like she had the expectation that Romeo was into her, and then she was
Yeah.
shocked that he like made it clear that he was into Jill. I'm glad that Romeo at least kind of set that up. Like at least he told Kira that right away, and then it gives Kira the
Yeah.
opportunity to move on to other guys like Casey. But I don't really. I mean, the interrupting is just part of the show. The drink thing was annoying. I guess she could have. I
Yeah.
mean, it just didn't seem like Jill wanted the confrontation, but then she like had no problem like telling everybody else on the beach that there was like an issue with Kira and that Kira was
Exactly.
this and
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
it's just like you can't gossip to everybody else and then not expect like Kira to get upset about it, because that's not really fair to Kira. She came in later and Jill's already talking about her to everyone else on the beach, and she doesn't know what's being said about her behind her back. So now she's freaking out,
Totally.
and she's clearly drunk, and she's disappointed by Romeo. So
Yeah.
tensions were just really, really high.
Yes.
I mean, do you think there'll be any resolution, Kayla, next week with this love triangle, or do we think it's kind of solved now?
What's funny is I agree with debut 8701. This love triangle ain't it. I just, again, I was like, I don't even care. I hope it's just moved on, because I want to see more of the other couples that I'm actually interested in. But yeah, I mean, I think it's probably gonna just be done. It's probably gonna be resolved. I don't know. We'll see. I
I
think I remember Romeo, and I think there's something else with Romeo and Jill, so maybe not. But yeah,
I think that
what are you
I
gonna say?
think this particular love triangle is over. But Jill is kind of setting the precedent that Kira likes to steal her men. So I'm feeling like we may have a separate love
Ooh.
triangle or a separate something going on between Kira, Jill, and maybe a different man at the top of the triangle.
I wonder what other
Interesting.
men she's talking about, because they all were going for Clayton.
Me
Like, and if you
too.
guys don't remember, Kira was the one that said at the Women Tell All last season, when she asked Clayton for another chance. Do you guys remember that? She was like, "Hey, yeah,
Did she really?
Yeah, she was like, if things don't work out, she was
yeah,
like, if things don't work out, I'm here, or something like that, right?
yeah,
That was
uh-huh."
Yeah.
Jill? I do
That's what
not
she
remember
said.
that. Wow.
No, that was
Interesting.
Kira. Kira.
Wait,
Oh,
Kira.
Kira. Yeah, I do remember that. Yes, yes, yes. My fault.
Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the episode, we had one more new arrival, and this is where the episode ended. Victoria F has walked down to the beach with the date card. Now, Victoria F is from Pilot Pete's season, so she made it to the top 3. She had that thing with Chase Rice that everyone was talking about. I guess she took a couple years off from Bachelor, and now she is back. She's hotter than ever. Do we think she's gonna get the same treatment as Lace? I mean, she's a little bit newer school. She's only
No.
2 years old, or maybe 3 now, 3 seasons back. But how do we think she's gonna fare? Were you guys excited to see her?
I think everybody in Bachelor Nation knows who Victoria Fuller is, no matter how many years back that she was on. These women and these men know who Victoria F is when she's walking down into the beach. So nobody's going to be asking if she's an alumni or if she's here to, be a bartender sidekick to Wells. And I think she's going to stir up some stuff, because I think probably a lot of people had never anticipated that she would be at the beach. So like, she's coming in as a hottie, and I think that I think some men are going to be going after her. And we already saw at the very end she's
Hmm.
saying she's interested in Andrew, and then we've got or Andrew, no, Justin, excuse me, and we've got Genevieve saying, I hope I don't have to share him, or something to that regard.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think I mean, this was another part of the ending of the episode that I was just kind of like, you waited till like the last 5 minutes to give me Victoria Ep. Like, I wanted her. I was like waiting, like, where is Victoria Fuller? Like, get the night 1 over with, end this Romeo love triangle thing, so I could see Victoria Ep get down the beach. So I think, yeah, Blakely's right. I think the guys are gonna be like, Victoria's here? Like, what? Okay, here
Well,
we go.
I
Like,
guess,
so
yeah, that's the point, to get you on your toes, to make you want to watch next week by bringing her in at the
that's
last
fair.
5 minutes. We're going to take a few questions. So we have our live chat going on. So if you guys have any comments or opinions or questions on this season of Paradise or Bachelor Nation, now would be the time to enter in the live chat. Let's play a little game before we get some questions. Without counting, how many people are on or in this picture right now? If you had to take a guess. Don't count Blakely
18.
I was gonna say
and
19.
Kayla. Okay. We
19.
have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh
7,
no!
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19. We have 20. But then I guess
Oh,
Victoria
that's
F will
right.
come in. We have 20 and then Victoria F. But then the guys are going to be handing out roses next week. So there will be about 3 girls going home. And Fuskia221 says, I hope Teddi and Andrew are still together. They're so cute. They are cute, and getting the first date is a really big deal. The first date of the season. I think that we'll have to just kind of see what happens. They're clearly,
They're both
vibing right now.
sweet.
Is there
I get
anyone else you
sweet,
think they
kind,
would
nice
vibe with on the
vibes.
beach? Blakely, who else do you think Teddi should go for on the beach if Andrew's not her cup of tea out of these guys?
Okay, so out of the
Brandon,
ones we
Justin?
have right now, I could see her and Brandon. I could see maybe her and Justin. They have a similar vibe. And also, if Michael A wasn't a dad, only because I don't know that Teddy's ready to be a mom, I could see Teddy and Michael A like really vibing.
Yeah, well, I meant to ask you, Kayla, do you think Sierra would
Yeah.
vibe with Michael A?
I mean, I felt like they were vibing this episode. I actually was going to bring
Yeah,
that
yeah.
up because that was one of the surprises for me was how much Michael was into her. Not because she's gorgeous and he should be into her, but I just didn't expect it from him. And he was just like laying it on thick about all the things he sees in her, and I felt like they were really cute together. So I think they could be a thing for at least maybe a couple weeks. We'll have to see if it goes real deep. But for me, I was gonna say maybe Teddy and Logan. I think they're kind of, to me, on a similar
Oh.
wave. Even just them standing next to each other, I'm kind of like, I could actually see that. I think they're both like, yeah, let's just see what happens. I'm here to just kind of be myself, chill, and we'll see. I don't know if Teddy is, like I was saying before, like super super crazy feeling Andrew. I mean, she should, but yeah, I think Logan, that could be cute too.
Yeah, we answered this earlier in the live. We don't believe Brandon and Serene actually knew each other. We were thinking just like all the fans were shipping them, and they mentioned they were interested on each other on like different podcasts. So there might have been like a pre-connection, but I don't think that they fully like met up or anything. But either way, I mean, Brandon walked right up to Serene, wasted no time, which a few of the girls said was the move to kind of just like claim what you want. But do you think it was too forward, Blakely? Like, how does Brandon know that there isn't another girl on the beach that he could be into if he doesn't give them a chance?
I mean, just because he went straight to her doesn't mean he's not giving other women a chance. I mean, it's
True.
only night one, right? So I feel like he's making his intentions clear, but that doesn't mean everybody's still off the market. And by the way, like, we have no idea actually if he went straight to her and pulled her right when they got to the beach. Like, he could have mingled for a second and then the producers just put it together like he went right to her and didn't even look at anybody else, and it's just how Lace knows or Luce knows that there's nobody else on this beach other than
Loose.
Logan for her. Then you know what? Sometimes you know when you know.
For
Yeah.
sure. And Angie M says, I loved Andrew and Teddy. Favorite new Paradise couple. Hope they're still together. Yeah,
A
we've been
lot of
talking
people are
about
shipping
this.
them.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
shipping them. I think between them and Brandon and Serene, they're probably the most
Mhm.
shipped couples at the moment.
Yeah.
But we'll have to kind of see what happens next week. Let's get into our predictions. Kayla, what do you think is going to happen next week? We have Victoria coming in. Who is she going to ask out on a date?
I think she is gonna ask out Justin, and I think he's gonna go. But I don't know that there will be a spark. I think she might find someone else kind of on the beach during the day and be like, wait, you know what? This is kind of cute. And then I think we'll see more of like the established couples like Brandon and Serene and Teddy and Andrew, and kind of like see where it's progressed. Michael and Sierra too. But of course, new arrivals. I feel like we might get one more new arrival, and then we'll have the rose ceremony.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
Probably another
cool.
girl to even make it harder for the other women who are there,
Yeah.
to uneven it a little bit more. I agree. I think Justin's definitely going on the date with Victoria because we see in the trailer that he's on that like motorcycle, and we don't totally, or not motorcycle, but the ATV. We don't totally see who's in the driver's seat. It sort of looked like it could have been Victoria, but we don't really see their face that well. Um, and I would love to see Lace. What goes on with her?
Mm.
I think we're gonna get some more drama
Mm.
from her, and maybe Genevieve will cry when Justin goes on the date because we know she's an emotional girl.
Yeah, she's definitely asking Justin on the date. She said it in at the end of the episode, and we know how these trailers are and these teasers. They tell you what's gonna happen, and then it happens. Okay, But maybe there'll be some surprises this season. There's going to be lots of new arrivals, and we'll be here talking about Bachelor in Paradise all season long. So be sure to follow us here at Shared News, like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you are always notified and up to date. I am your host, Zachary Reality, with
Blakely McHugh. My social media is at Blakely McHugh.
And I'm Kayla Thompson, and I'm at Kayla Thompson. And thank you guys so much for joining us live. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.